Pokemon has always been a game where you, the player, get to decide which Pokemon to catch, who to battle, and other things to do?
What is that?
Anyways, the point being is that instead of me holding on to my free will, I've arranged to put that in the hands of an AI that many of you may know as ChatGPT. With that being said, let's begin. So, here we are on ChatGPT. We're just gonna start simple here and type in this. Wait, hold on. That's not supposed to happen. 1 second. Okay, so with the power of video editing, we are back with the same question as last time, and yeah. This in itself is another huge problem. You see, ChatGPT is a relatively new program in which it actually doesn't even know that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet exists because of its limited information. So is that it? Do I just scrap the video here? No. So I looked back at the conversation with ChatGPT and noticed that it said, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a fan-made game. Which means that instead of going on Scarlet and Violet, I can use this loophole and just ask a different question. Like, for instance, something like this. As you can see, ChatGPT came up with 5 Pokemon fan games for me to play. Now, the question is, which of these 5 games should I play? Since me personally have already played Pokemon Uranium and Insurgents, I decided to go with the third option, Pokemon Reborn, since I haven't played that game before. But I have heard of it, so let's see what that game has to offer. So, here we are on Pokemon Reborn. I'm on a train that just blew up. Wow, what a morbid start to the game. After the eventful act of terrorism, I immediately turned down the Game Boy because that completely destroyed my ears. After that, I headed to the Pokemon Link to see what's going on in the story so far. It took me to the back room. Wait, not that back room. This back room, the one I would choose my starter Pokemon in. Of course, I chose the best starter Pokemon in Cyndaquil. After receiving my starter Pokemon, my 2 rivals of the game decided to challenge me to a battle, and of course, I tackled both of their Pokemon to death. Since I'm kinda dumb, I didn't pay attention to any of the dialogue at all, so I was completely lost on what to do. So what was the most logical thing to do in a Pokemon game where you have no idea what you're doing? Go around beating up every single trainer for their money. And so I did exactly that. I repeated the same gameplay loop for the next 20 minutes, realizing I had no idea how to progress the story, which led to me opening the map and being even more confused than I did before. I mean, look at this map, what am I looking at here? After 10 more minutes of just aimlessly wandering around, I finally found my first piece of story action with somebody being pressed by this person in green hair? Okay. So this guy right here was just talking about a whole bunch of nonsense I did not care to read, so I just kept spamming A until the battle finally started. I thought I was going to be fine in this battle until a Sandile one-shotted me with PeriTune. So yeah, it's back to the drawing board for me. Fortunately, I'm not that much of a psychopath to go back and challenge him again without changing anything in my strategy whatsoever. Now you're all probably wondering, why don't I just go find a water or a grass type to get rid of the Sandile? And the problem with that is that the only Pokemon I've been able to find was a Noibat and a Railroad, in which that took me 2 minutes to encounter. Oh yeah, it's also the only Pokemon that you could find there, besides a random Swoobat that I encountered, and that's not going to help me with a ground dark type. Now with the Noibat joining our party, I decided to just train up on a few more people that have been trying to mug me for the past 30 minutes and finally evolve my Cyndaquil into a Quilava. So maybe I don't get one-shotted again by the Sandile, but I got one-shotted by the Sandile. Yeah, I closed out of the game immediately after that. Alright, I think I've done enough on ChatGPT for today, but there is one more question I would like to ask, and it goes like this. Yeah, I'm not reading all of that, and neither are you guys, so